So far, our lists are not actually lists. Each list is just a string, and that doesn't make a very good list. A list should, well, it should probably look more like this. It should have a title, to do, and then it should have some list items, and then maybe that would be an array with a bunch of things inside it. But right now, each list is just a string. So we're going to change that. The way we're going to do that is we're going to make each list an instance of this list class. Not a string, but an instance of the list class that will be getting with list.new. So in order to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do def initialize title at title equals title. What this is doing is it's saying that when someone does list new to do, it's going to make a new instance of the list class with a title of to do. So it's going to make a new list object with a title of to do. And I can say that to a variable, my to do list equals list.new. And then if I want to get my to-do list.title, then I'm going to need to go in here and make at title accessible. So I'm going to do that with attr accessor. You saw this before. It's like catter accessor except without the C. The C stands for class variable. Attr attr accessor is used for instance variables. So now I have a way of creating new lists and getting the title from each list. That's all I'm going to need to do in the model. I'm not going to worry about the all thing just yet. Now I'm going to go back to my lists controller, and I'm going to say that whenever someone submits a list inside this create method, it shouldn't just, so request.params title, that's just a string. I don't want it to just push that string into list.all. Instead, I want it to create a whole new list from that title. So if they submit the form with to do, it's going to create a new list with the title of to do. All right, so that's all you need to do here. Let's see how this is changing things. All right, so whoops. Oh, I should probably get rid of this specific list. I forgot to do that earlier. Shame on me. Oh well. If I go to new and then type to do and submit this. All right, so now we see this. That's not really what I want. This is Ruby's sort of string version of what a list instance would look like. But I don't want to see this. I want to see the list's title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the index, and instead of just doing link to list, remember this is the text that should show up right here. I'm going to do list.title. And there we go. Now I see to do. It's very important that you have this attr accessor here. If you don't, you're not going to have any way of accessing the title for each list. So if I go in here and I try to create a new one, it's going to throw an error at me. It's saying undefined method title. Now I know it actually has a title. I can see it right here, but it doesn't have any way of accessing it. So I need to put in this attr accessor. Now, doing that and saving that, that made my server restart, so I just lost that list I created, so I have to create it again. But there we go. Now I have that list. I'll make another one, another list, and there we go. Now I have all of my lists showing up. And I can still click on these pages, and whoop, there's one more thing I need to change. So I need to go to the show page, and instead of this being at list, this will be at list.title. All right, and there we go. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Each list is now an instance of the list class. So I'm going to make this commit message, making each list an instance of the list class.